Hello, everyone. I am coming to you live today to talk about recall, coming when called, which is one of our top requested things that we get asked about when it comes to dog training. First up, my name's Nissa. I'm the owner of Magic of Paws, helping you help your pets. And I am going to apologize again if you've tuned into any of the last few live videos. I've apologized every time. The office is a hot mess right now because we're in the process of pulling everything out to remodel it, to make this into a better setup for going live and filming demonstrations. So as opposed to just me sitting and chatting in a chair, there will be another area set up over there where I can actually demonstrate with a dog and show different things, because as of right now, there's really no way in this office to set it up so that it works. We're also hoping to make some adjustments to make the acoustics a little bit better. But anyway, bear with me. Sorry it's all a hot mess, but I promise you the information that I'm giving today is still valuable even with that backdrop. So what I wanted to go over today were my 5 rules for recall. If you've come to any of our group classes, or specifically if you've come to our reliable recall or total recall classes, you've heard me talk about my 5 rules for recall. These are based around a few common mistakes that quickly ruin a dog's recall. So to prevent this, we follow these 5 rules whenever we are calling our dog, and a commitment to following these 5 rules will help you really build a good, solid recall. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Rule 1, never call your dog for anything unpleasant. This is the biggest mistake people make. If you call your dog and instantly plop them into the bathtub, or even worse, leash them up and take them home from the park, why would they ever come when you call? So if you need to call your dog for something they won't enjoy, either don't call them, just go get them. Or if you do need to use recall, do something super duper fun in between. So dogs are really wonderful creatures in the fact that if A, then B, then C happens, A caused B, B caused C, A and C are not related. So if you call your dog, have a massive party, give him a pet fest and all of his favorite treats, and then get in the car to go home, he's not really going to make that connection as easily as he would as if you call and then instantly go in the car. Make sense? So, rule number 2, never call your dog if you're not sure that they will come. So don't call them if you can't make it happen. This is all about working at your dog's level. So right now, most dogs are working somewhere between preschool and maybe high school level when it comes to recall. So calling him away from an exciting squirrel is going to be a little bit harder than he can do. That's more at the college level, and he's not ready for it. So if you call and he doesn't come, he just learns that the cue doesn't really mean anything. That leads us into rule 3. If you call your dog and they don't come, you need to save it. So if you ask for a recall and your dog doesn't respond, 1, use it as a learning experience. Maybe this is a little bit above his experience level, or maybe there's a distraction that you didn't notice in the environment. But 2, you need to go and save that recall. So you can either run up to your dog, put a treat in front of his nose, and then back up so he comes toward you, which I know isn't really as good as the real thing, but it's important to have him go through the motion of coming to you rather than letting him ignore the cue. Other ways to save it are if you are worried that running toward him is going to make him run away. Some dogs consider that a game of chase. Run away from your dog and sounds like you're having a party without him. That's going to make him more likely to leave what it is that he's doing to see what has mom so excited about over there. Other options are if you're practicing on a long lead, to give it a gentle little tug just to break their concentration from what they're doing back onto you, and then reward as soon as they take that first step for you with like verbal praise, and then treats as soon as they come. You can also, if you're working with a second person, have that second person grab the dog's leash and bring them over to you. That way, they're still going through the full motion of come when called, even if it's not entirely voluntary. They're still going through the motion, and it's a little bit better than just taking a couple of steps because you approached them first. You can also always rattle a bag of treats, make some kissy noises, sound like you're having a party while staying in one spot, and see if that makes a difference as well. Whatever you do not ever, and here is rule 4, never repeat the cue. So repeating it over and over doesn't make your dog understand it any better. It just teaches him to ignore the sound you're making because it doesn't appear to have any meaning or consequence. So dogs don't speak English. When you say come, it's just a noise. He doesn't understand that there is a dictionary definition for it and it means to come toward you. He just thinks it's a sound. So if you're taking away that association between the sound and the action, it's going to make it harder for him to make that association in the future. So the more every time you say come, come, come on, come, I mean it this time, please come. Every time he hears that word, it means less and less and less because nothing is happening to teach him what that word means. Dogs need to build that association. So if your dog isn't coming the first time you call them, do not repeat the cue. Do one of those other things that we did to save the recall to make it happen. Give them that gentle tug on the lead, shake the bag of treats, make kissy noises, whatever it needs to be to get their attention back to you to come toward you. And finally, rule 5 is that fabulous rewards get fabulous recalls. Practicing recall is not the time to be stingy with your treats. If we expect a dog to drop whatever it is that they're doing and come running to us, the people they see all day, every day, we really have to make it worth their while. We have to be more interesting than whatever it is that they are interested in. So you're going to want to use your scale of treat value to your advantage. Don't just give them a couple pieces of dry-born kibble or a milk bone. You're going to want to give them something exciting that they don't have on a regular basis. Think hot dogs, lunch meat, cheese, freeze-dried beef liver, anything that gets your dog super excited that they don't get on a regular basis is going to make them much more likely to come the next time because they start to make that association of that, oh, when I come to mom, I get a piece of hot dog and that's totally awesome. I don't get hot dog any other way. So you're making it worth their while to come to you. So that's it. Those are our 5 rules for recall. So to recap them, don't ever call your dog for anything unpleasant. Only call your dog if you are sure that he will come. If you call your dog and it doesn't happen, you have to make it happen. Go save it. Never repeat the cue. And then fabulous rewards get fabulous recalls. Pretty straightforward when you think about it step by step, but it's amazing how many times people forget one of these things or never learned these things and how big of an impact it can have on your training of recall. So if you have any questions about this, please go ahead, drop them right in the comments. I am happy to answer them. In the meantime, if you want to learn more about our recall, about training your dog to a recall, we offer it in a variety of different sources as far as training goes. So you can join us for a reliable recall course, which is a 1-hour seminar that just goes over the basics of what a good recall looks like. We have Total Recall, which is a 3-week seminar, hour each, where we get deep dives into each individual part of a recall so that we can have a really solid one going forward. Plus, we go over recall in all of our basic life and social skills obedience classes. So any of those that are appropriate for your dog's level, come on by. We'll go over recall as well. So been lovely chatting with you all. I hope you are staying dry on this dreary, rainy day. And as always, if you have any questions, go ahead, leave them in the comments. I will get to them as soon as I can. In the meantime, give your dog a pet for me. Have a good one, everyone.